What is your longest friendship? If it's long, that's a good sign. If it's shorter than a year, that's a red flag to me.
1,000%.
No.
Yes.
Like, how do you feel about
Yes.
people that have short friendships all the time? Like, they're always switching friend groups. Like,
You guys, thank you for reading that listener question because I read something that really made me mad the other day. I'm not disagreeing with that listener question, by the way. I'm adding something to it.
okay.
So I read somewhere that people who have friends for life, like if you're still friends with your high school friends, your college friends, they're looked at as more as loyal people versus people who aren't. And I cannot disagree with that more because I think as human beings, we grow apart from people so much where I only have like one high school friend. That doesn't make me not a loyal human being.
That's not the question.
No.
but I get what you're saying.
I'm adding to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the question was,
Well, the question was basically what you're objecting to, which was the idea that if people have many short-lived friendships, that's a red flag and they're not a trustworthy person.
I think that goes to flavor of the weeks, kind of. Like, it's like you're always chasing after the next shiny object. And most of the time, if you're chasing after the next shiny object in the form of friends, I think that means you're emotionally porous and you'll change too easily. Like, I think you need to have at least one very long friendship from a long time, which shows that something in your moral compass has stayed the same over time. I think it's a red flag if you have a bunch of small friendships.
well, my question would be, what happened to those friendships? Like, why did you end, and why have you ended so many friendships over the course of your life?
Most of the time, it can happen once or twice. But if it's happening with every single person you're a friend with, at what point would you say that's you?
Well,
Not them.
also, it's like, how are you ending the friendship? Because I feel like all of us have friends where we never ended our friendship. We just grew apart in a very mature way. But then we have maybe one friend where like, I will never speak to them again. So it's like, what's going on? Like, are you literally ending these friendships or just growing apart from a lot of different people, which are both red flags to me? But
And if it's a healthy grow apart, I think in some capacity you could still be friends.
yeah, like
And that's a good thing.
there's so many people that I've grown apart with. But if I saw them, I'd be like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. How are you? But I wouldn't be like, I would never have a bad thing to say about them, but I wouldn't consider them like my best friend.
Totally. But if I was like, hey, like, who are your friends? And you were like, oh, I've made all of them in New York. I'd be like, do you have any other friends? And you were like, no. I'd be like, holy shit. Like, you don't exist that would be a huge red flag to me, I think.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a Madeline, I'd be like, what?
No, oh my God, no, completely, 1,000%. But something with that kind of made me mad was I was reading somewhere that it was saying people who have friends from high school or college, like long-term friends, are looked at as more as loyal humans than people who don't have that many. And I fully disagree with that because I think as humans, we evolve so much over time, especially in our teens and 20s, that it's okay if you aren't best friends with your high school friends. Because for me, for example, I have like one high school friend. I mean, I have a lot that I'm still, if I saw them on the street, I'd be like, oh my God, it's so freaking good to see you. But I'm not going to go out of my way for them to be like, come visit me in New York City. Because I feel like I've had so many different lives in my 20s where I just like don't relate with them a lot anymore.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think those loyal humans you're talking about are excited to see you go to your new phase, and they cheer for you. They're like, you go do your phase, I'm going to do my phase. They're probably not the same phase, but we're still friends and we still support each other.
Yeah.
Because at one point they were a part of your life.
Yeah.
But it's not like I hate you.
No, oh my God, no.
And you make new friends on top of that, and then they're excited to meet those friends. Like, because we do evolve and you do have different phases. I think it would be crazy if you like cut ties with every single one. Like, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, that would be
Scare me. I'd be like, when's my day?
literally. When are you gonna abandon me?
Yeah, I'd be like, when are you chopping me? You know, it's like I like to see somebody that's like, I can figure it out.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I think too, as people, you made a really good point, Alex. We need to realize, like, just because you don't talk to this person every single day doesn't mean you're not friends with them anymore.
No.
Like, I think the only time you're not friends with someone anymore is if you literally had that conversation where you're like, we're not friends anymore because I don't like you.
Right. You're like, we had a disagreement.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have friends in other phases of life that you can be like, tell me about yours. Tell me about yours.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a healthy, you're both existing separately but together. And that's like my favorite. I love that.
Yeah. Also, I think the older we get, we tend to have a smaller group that we take with us.
Take a couple from each phase.
Yeah, we have more
Travel together.
shiny quarters than dull pennies in our life.
Yeah, I
weed
agree.
out the weak. Yeah.
I liked that question. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Me too. It
Something
kind
I
of
think about a lot.
kind of hits me where it hurts though sometimes.
Why? Because you take the childhood friendship thing personally.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know. In my 20s, I made a very drastic change. Like I was from Minnesota, where the thing to do is have kids, get married, live in a white picket fence, go to your 9 to 5 every single day. And now I live in New York City, where it's okay to be 40 years old, single, not married. I have a very different type of life and job. Like I truly did a 180, and I still love my friends back in my old life so much, but I don't have all of them to like. I don't have like these massive strong connections with them anymore.
You don't have like a current friendship with them, kind of.
Yeah, and it's not because anything happened. Like they're busy with their families. Like they have kids. They have like different lives. So it just makes me mad sometimes when people say stuff like that, because I'm like, okay, how are we talking? Like what type of friendship? And like I'm not loyal because I'm not talking to all of my high school and college friends every single day anymore.
I interpreted the question differently. I interpret them still as your friends, those people. I took this question as like you're not like you don't have a relationship with them. But like to me, what you're explaining is the question.
Kind of. Like I'm still friends with my entire friend group from high school, but I don't look at you saying I only have one friend from high school. Like I'm definitely not more loyal than you. I would never say that, you know?
Yeah.
When I think of this question, I think of those people that every year they have a new best friend.
Same.
And
That's what I'm
they
thinking.
kind of leave that old person behind. It's like, what is going on here? Like, what is this theme of like picking up and putting down, but putting a new book on the shelf? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I think to assume people are more loyal from having like older friendships is kind of unfair, because it's just, I feel like I just got lucky, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's all luck. Like whose parents 10 years before you were born decided to buy a house in this specific town. That has nothing to do with how loyal you are.
Yeah, like
and
do
you
know what
happen
I
to
mean?
like that town.
Yeah, like
and you want to stay.
Yeah.
well, and I think every person meets their people at different parts of their life. Like there's some people who are best friends with their high school friends. There's some people who met like their people in college. There's some people who met their, like I know someone who met her best friends when she was in her 30s, and those are her people she's kept with her entire life. So I think it depends on just like when you were supposed to meet your people in your life.
So you're pro, like, because the other side is there are people who are like, this is my best friend, my very best friend. We're gonna travel together. She is my end all be all. Next year, we're back on Instagram. I'm like, who's the new friend?
Yeah.
And that's the new. And so the person in the 30s never even could stick with them, because the whole time she's having new friends. Like I had friends in college who did it, and it's like your best friend for the week, and it's like you love them.
Yeah.
But more of like stability, or being like, okay, I do get along with this person. We're gonna be together for a really long time.
Yeah, this person had like a few friends, like 3 friends that she stuck with her entire life. But like when she was 30, she was like, it just changed for me. Like that's like when I met my people. Because like I love all my friends back home to death, and there's definitely a few that I'm gonna take with me forever. But like I just can't express the girls I've met in New York. Like they're like my forever people. So that's why I just like this question like irritates me a bit.
That's fair.
Yeah, it is fair. But even the ones you've met now, you're not going to change next year.
No, they're gonna be with me until I die.
question.
Yeah.
But I think why I'm getting so angry, because like before I met them, I don't know. It just, this question, I don't know. It just like struck a nerve in me. I don't know. The
It's
whole loyalty
fair.
thing. 'Cause I'm like, I am a really loyal human being, and how dare you call me not loyal because I'm not best friends with my high school best friends.
I'll say this: nothing you've said gave me any non-loyal flags. It's sounding more like I'm like you don't have friends every.
I know. I don't know. It just like the friends thing. Just like it. Just I read it and I was like, no, this makes me so mad.
Interesting.
I consider myself just lucky.
Yeah.
You always talk about your friends. Like you do have that. Some people I feel like had a great high school experience and their best friends are from high school. Some I feel like had it in college. Some I feel like have it in their working life. Some have it when they have kids. And like you take those friends with you. Juxtaposition to that is that rapid fire.
Yeah.
I got some people in mind where I'm like, you got new friends.
Me too.
All the time.
It was kind of a thing actually where I went to college. Like I went to University of Delaware, and everyone from like the Northeast would always say that the kids that were like, I don't want to like talk shit on a state, but they were like, everyone that's from Delaware has this tendency to just have new friends every year. Like they're just one fight and they call it quits. Like no one has this like they don't put friendship on a pedestal.
Ooh,
It
one
was
fight
like very strange. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but everyone like from up here would always say it about their friends that were like local.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
One fight and you call it
One
quits.
fight and it was like, that's it.
Yeah.
On
How
to the
scary.
next. Yeah.
Or another person comes along that's just like
just shinier.
honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
No, I
I hate that.
I had friends like that when I was really young where I'd be scared to like get in an argument with them because I'm like, they're just gonna throw me to the curb.
Yeah, like you don't want to say anything, so you live. Yeah, that's so true.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then in college too, where it's like freshman year, sophomore year, junior, senior year, they'd be friends with like a different group of girls. And I'm like, all right, who's gonna be your group in senior year? Let's see. Who are you gonna graduate with?
Yeah, who are you gonna do grad pics with?
Yeah,
Yes.
The fuck are those people?
Okay, this is making me feel better. Your guys'
you're very
comments.
loyal.
Yeah.
No, this question's not.
I went to therapy this morning and we talked about my abandonment issues. So I think it's striking a nerve with me right now. She told me that might happen.
It's dug up. It does happen. You talk about it in therapy, and I'm like, fuck, here we go. It's gonna hurt for the next 2 days.
I can see why that triggered you. That would piss me off too if I read that article
'Cause I
because
think-
that's just there's no nuance there.
Loyalty is something I like hold near and
Like,
dear to my heart. I'm like, I am a
yeah.
fucking loyal human being, okay?
For sure.
I ride or die with the people I love. So that's why I was like, how dare you?
but we're like, but the question's not. I know. We're like, it's not at you.
Yeah, she just like took it and spun it kind of.
Yeah.
And another thing.
I have one friend from high school. We're like, that's a lot more than most people.
No, we're going to therapy before we record.
And we're like, wait, what?